this is Jack and the Beanstalk. This video will be a continuation of my garden introduction series, so if you haven't seen the first video, I'll make sure to include a link down below and make sure you check that out. Today we'll be learning about one of my plants here in the garden, how to take care of them, and any issues I've had taking care of them myself. First, we will be talking about the very popular Majesty palm. You probably have seen this plant before. It's prized for its beauty in both its immature and mature stages. As you can see, both of my Majesty palms are out here on the patio where they receive strong indirect sunlight. So they are able to receive some shade during the day, but they get that strong sunlight in the morning as well. They both are doing pretty well and are growing very fast from what I have observed. This one here is a little bigger than the other one that I'm going to show you right after, but that's only because I had to cut off some leaves due to some of them turning brown and dying. The Majesty palms love humidity, so the weather here in Georgia is perfect for them. If you're dealing with low humidity in your area, one thing you can do to increase humidity for your Majesty palm is by misting the leaves daily with just regular water, and that should do the trick. When the Majesty palm is not receiving enough water, the leaves begin to turn brown and you start losing some of the lower leaves. Earlier I spoke about one of the Majesty palms that I have being smaller than the other because I had to cut some leaves off. I was still learning how much I should water the plants, so I was still in a trial error and I wasn't giving them nearly as much water as they need. They're pretty big and they're in pretty big pots, so they tend to need a lot more water than some of my other plants here, and especially because it loves water and loves humidity and loves a moist soil. The Majesty palm prefers temperatures around 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees. So although it tends to be about 15 degrees higher here in Georgia, especially during the summer, both of my Majesty palms are still doing pretty well. They're pretty strong, growing fast. The only problems that I've had so far is that I wasn't giving them enough water. These plants typically only need to be fertilized once or twice during the growth season. When you tend to do anything over that, you'll run into the leaves being burnt from too much fertilizer and everything in moderation. When it comes to fertilizing your plants, you want to make sure you don't do it too much, even though I'm sure most of us get pretty happy when it's time to fertilize because we want to see success in a short amount of time. But when it comes to the plants, you can't rush the growing process, and you have to remember everything in moderation no matter what you do, whether it's fertilization, plant food, or when it comes to bug infestation, all of that, because even the bugs are important. One thing that I do to encourage growth in the Majesty palm is by making my own solution of plant food with Epsom salt. Epsom salt is a good source of magnesium for the plants, so you can use about 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. Shake it up, make sure it dissolves well, and then you should be able to use that as a way to feed the plants. Like I said before, if you are going to be giving the plants plant food or fertilizing them, you want to do this not every day, but just maybe once or twice a month. I really like the Majesty palm. It's very pretty, but this can tend to be a difficult plant for new gardeners to take care of. The main thing that you have to remember when it comes to taking care of the Majesty palm is that you have to find the right combination of things to work for the Majesty palm. So as you heard me say earlier, there are a lot of things that the Majesty palm needs, just like any other plant. So you got to make sure you fertilize it when needed, give it the right amount of water, make sure it's getting some sunlight, all those normal things that it comes to when taking care of a plant. But this plant is a little temperamental. When it comes to one of those things not being met, the Majesty palm will behave accordingly. So it'll start dying very easily. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my first video if you like this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And that's all. Have a great day. I'm sorry. Okay. Today we'll be talking about the Majesty palm. Now one thing you can do if you to lose some of the lower leaves. Do I need to do that again?
Yeah, when the Majesty palm, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. The Majesty palm Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let me do it again. Don't look at me like that.